Right now on Morning News Now, fear and finger-pointing following a deadly shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas that killed one detainee and critically injured two others. The FBI releasing images of bullet casings found at the scene with an etching that reads anti-ICE. Now new information about the shooter, who investigators say turned the gun on himself, as top Republicans call on Democrats to stop demonizing the opposition.
But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell, and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America.
We'll have the latest on the investigation and the fallout. TikTok. President Trump expected to sign a deal to help sell TikTok to an American buyer and avert a nationwide ban. Also today, the president set for talks with Turkey's president at the White House. And former FBI Director James Comey now facing the possibility of prosecution. We will take you to Washington. Plus, Typhoon Ragasa leaving a trail of destruction across Asia. The deadly storm battering Hong Kong and China after killing dozens in Taiwan and the Philippines. And closer to home, we're tracking severe weather across parts of the South and the East Coast. More on the warnings and what to expect where you are. And look what you made them do. Why a vacation home owned by superstar Taylor Swift has become the center of a big new tax for the nation's smallest state. It's an interesting one. Good morning. I'm Savannah Sellers. Thank you very much for being with us this Thursday. Joe is on assignment this morning. We are going to begin with that deadly shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. Authorities say one detainee is dead and two others are in critical condition after a gunman fired multiple rounds early Wednesday morning before taking his own life. Police say no ICE officers were injured in the attack, but the FBI now says that attack was targeted violence after they say they found bullet casings with anti-ICE sentiments written on them. NBC News correspondent Alice Barr is in Washington with the latest. Hi, Alice. Good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. While this investigation is still in its early stages, political leaders in both parties are condemning a deeply troubling increase in political violence. This morning, growing questions and fallout from the deadly shooting at an ICE field office in Dallas, with top officials promising heightened security.
Making sure that our ICE officers have the ability to operate safely. In fact, they've seen a 1,000% increase in violent attacks against them.
A gunman on Wednesday firing from a nearby rooftop hit a transport van, killing a detainee inside it and critically wounding two others before taking his own life. No officers were hurt, but are believed to be the target.
Rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
Investigators releasing this image of a bullet casing etched with the words anti-ICE, along with photos of bullet holes in a window and an American flag inside the facility. Multiple senior law enforcement officials identifying the suspect as 29-year-old Joshua John. His brother told NBC News John didn't have strong feelings about ICE and wasn't interested in politics on either side as far as he knew. President Trump blaming Democrats, posting, "I am calling on all Democrats to stop this rhetoric against ICE and America's law enforcement right now." Top Republicans with similar messages.
To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
One Dallas pastor who's been praying with other clergy members outside Dallas ICE headquarters, calling for justice for migrants and against violence, speaking out against the shooting.
It couldn't be more opposite of the kind of message that we've been trying to witness to.
Among the voices now calling for common ground. And other signs of the increased violence the DHS secretary pointed to include an ambush-style shooting on an officer outside another ICE facility in Texas. And during protests against ICE this summer in California, a man appeared to open fire at immigration agents there. Savannah.
And Alice, what do we know about the victims, about those who were shot in this shooting in Texas?
Yeah, we're pressing for more information there. The victims' names have not yet been released, though the Mexican consulate in Dallas said that one of the two critically injured detainees is a Mexican national, and consulate officials said that they had contacted the victim's family to offer support and legal advice.
All right, Alice, thank you very much. Well, today at the White House, President Trump is expected to sign a deal that would facilitate the sale of TikTok. That is according to two senior White House officials. Well, a majority share of the popular social media app, the plan here, is it's going to be sold away from that Chinese-based company ByteDance to a group of American investors. The White House has been signaling for days now that a deal was almost done. NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba joins us now from Washington with more. Monica, good morning. So the senior White House official confirms to NBC News that once the deal is implemented, TikTok's operations in the U.S. would be run by this joint venture company. We have heard some names here floated in terms of who may be involved in that. What do we know about what the future of TikTok will look like?
Well, Savannah, you've been covering this so closely as this has developed, and now finally it seems we have some answers about who's going to be involved in terms of the U.S. companies. We know that Oracle is going to be involved, Larry Ellison's company, and we know that there is going to be essentially a board of TikTok that will have 6 American investors on it sitting. We don't know exactly who, but who are going to be, of course, an important part in the future of this company and how it's going to work. And everybody who was wondering about how the algorithm was going to work, it is going to stay as U.S. owned. It will be essentially, they will have oversight to ensure that that is not being affected by outside companies or influences. And we know that for now, in terms of those security concerns, which is what kicked this off initially because of that bipartisan law that was passed in 2024, that's something that now U.S. companies will also be able to review. So this is a situation that the president had been pushing for. You know, he had extended the deadline several times to keep it alive after it briefly went dark earlier this year. And this is something that the president, of course, discussed with China's President Xi Jinping when they spoke last week. And he did have to extend this one more time for the deal to actually go through and some of those final things to fall into place in the next 120 days or so. Savannah.
All right, a lot to watch for later this afternoon, we think. Monica, also I want to ask you, the president of Turkey is set to visit the White House. That's the first time in several years that this type of meeting will happen. Trade, military deals, those might be things that are on the agenda. That's something President Trump has been alluding to on social media. What are you expecting during this meeting?
Yeah, and President Erdogan is a close ally of President Trump. He hasn't been to the White House since 2019. And that was back when initially Turkey had been a part of being able to purchase these F-35 fighter jets that now they were not able to do so. But the president is saying that ultimately, if these talks go well, it's possible that Turkey will be able to do that. The reason they were booted out of that program is because they had purchased a military program from Russia. So those talks continue in terms of where the military positioning is and trade, but also we expect the war in Gaza to be a topic of conversation here because this is something where Turkey was involved in a big conversation earlier in the week in New York that President Trump was a part of too, with some of these other Muslim majority countries to try to discuss a potential end to the war in Gaza with a ceasefire and then some phases that they have been discussing but need to come to an agreement with. And of course, that is an important step that then later would have to be discussed with Israel. And we expect Prime Minister Netanyahu could be coming to the White House in the coming days because he is set to address the UN tomorrow. Savannah.
Monica, one more for you before I let you go. We are less than a week. We've been talking about this for a while now. From a potential government shutdown. That also means the possibility of layoffs. That is now looming for federal workers. Our viewers can see this on our screen right now. White House lays groundwork for mass government firings. What contingency plans is the White House making if a funding deal is not reached before the deadline? What could those layoffs look like?
Yeah, this is a really significant development in the standoff. Essentially, the OMB, the White House, is saying that if there is a shutdown, that agencies need to prepare to have mass layoffs of the people who wouldn't necessarily be funded by whatever has been funded so far. That is to say, if funding does lapse, they could then make an argument to lay off hundreds of thousands of government workers. Now, remember, that happened earlier in the year with the DOGE cuts, and then many of those workers ended up coming back. So this is something that could be tied up in the courts and could face some legal opposition, again, if it happens. But this is also really about the politics, Savannah. This is the White House and Republicans sending a message to Democrats. Democrats are saying this is simply an intimidation tactic, but it's certainly something that they're going to be considering as we are now just 5 days away from that possible shutdown.
All right, Monica Alba covering a lot for us from Washington. Thank you so much. Well, the Justice Department is weighing up whether to indict former FBI Director James Comey for allegedly lying to Congress. That is according to two Department of Justice officials and also a person familiar with the matter. The charge relates to testimony Comey gave to Congress that was back in 2020. He's been a long target of President Trump, who he fired from his job at the FBI back in 2017 over his handling of the investigation into interference by Russia in the 2016 election. Well, just days ago, the president called on Attorney General Pam Bondi to prosecute Comey and two other political opponents. Both Comey and the DOJ have declined to comment at this point. But we have David Broad. He's a senior executive editor covering national security and law for NBC News, joining us on set. Good morning. Thank you very much for being with us. So what are we learning here at NBC News about what these charges could center on?
So it appears that the U.S. prosecutor, the new U.S. prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia, is going to pursue an indictment of former FBI Director James Comey. It would be that Comey lied under oath during the questioning you were just mentioning about by Senator Ted Cruz. The problem with this case is that it's essentially going to be James Comey versus Andy McCabe, who was his deputy at the time, in that McCabe says, you authorized me to speak to the media to make this release. This was years ago. It was actually a damaging story about Hillary Clinton that McCabe leaked. And Comey testified under oath, no, I did not authorize that. And that's a sort of he said. And there's a chance here that grand jurors might not indict him because they don't think the evidence is strong enough. And I just want to say overall, this is just unprecedented to have the president of the United States fire or push out. And there was an initial attorney who wouldn't bring this case, and to publicly tell the attorney general, indict James Comey, has never happened before in American history.
Also, to take something to a grand jury with questionable evidence is quite unusual as well. There's been kind of some back and forth here. If you could walk us through this for viewers to understand. The Justice Department said back in July that it was investigating Comey. We knew that. But then we understand that the U.S. attorney that was actually overseeing that probe chose to just resign. This was just recently, rather than seek an indictment. What's going on here?
Yeah, his name is Eric Sept. He's a career prosecutor. He's also, trusted by conservatives and was very close to many people in Trump's inner circle. And there's reporting that Pam Bondi, the current attorney general, actually defended Sept. And there are guidelines to prevent prosecutors from bringing sort of frivolous prosecutions. To be prosecuted by the federal government, it's expensive. It destroys your reputation. So Sept, we've been told, resigned because he did not feel there was enough evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to prove, again, that Comey lied under oath when he was testifying to Congress. So it's extraordinary that Sept has resigned. And then the new attorney there has very little experience. She's never prosecuted a case before, but it looks like she is going to pursue this prosecution.
The timeline here, this would have to move pretty quickly, right?
Yes, the 5-year statute of limitations on when Comey allegedly lied before Congress is early next week. And so they have to move very quickly to indict him. And just one last dynamic here. Grand juries in Washington, D.C. failed to indict many people who were arrested. There were 7 cases in Washington during the recent crackdown on crime that happened in Los Angeles as well. So there's a chance that a grand jury might say, no, we don't feel there's sufficient evidence here.
David, thank you very much. Great to have you on set with us.
Thank you.
Well, there were a whole lot of eyes watching Jimmy Kimmel's return to late-night TV. According to early Nielsen ratings, his Tuesday night show, get this, it was the highest-rated episode in over a decade, drawing in more than 3 times its typical audience. More than 6.2 million, in fact, viewers tuned in to watch it live, despite roughly 70 ABC affiliates across the country not even airing the show. Also, those numbers do not include people who watched it on streaming services like Hulu, that hasn't been released yet. And on social media, Kimmel's opening monologue, the whole thing was posted on their Instagram and across platforms. It netted more than 26 million viewers in less than 24 hours. Well, here in New York, the war in Gaza is continuing to take center stage at the United Nations General Assembly. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is set to address the assembly remotely later today after he was denied a visa. He's one of more than 80 officials who have been banned from entering the U.S. by the Trump administration. This comes as Israel is continuing its ground assault on Gaza. The director of a hospital there, it's called the Al-Shifa Hospital, tells NBC News that nearly 100 bodies were received by hospitals in the enclave just yesterday. NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley is in Tel Aviv with more on this. Matt, good morning. Thanks for being with us. So Palestine and its future, a major focus of this week's assembly. We knew that going in. These remarks that were earlier from President Abbas this week after France joined several other countries in formally recognizing Palestinian statehood, that was a big moment. What were some of his comments? What do we know so far about what we can expect from Palestinian leadership at this assembly later today?
Well, we don't have much information about what we're going to be hearing from Mahmoud Abbas and other leaders, when he addresses the whole assembly today as part of the regular session. We already heard from him a couple of days ago, as you mentioned, as part of a special session that was called by Saudi Arabia and France. Emmanuel Macron, one of the ringleader of all of these Western countries who have been recognizing a Palestinian state. I think that one of the things that Mahmoud Abbas has been doing on the public, in front of the public, the global community, for the past couple of weeks and days, and really for the past 2 years, is trying to distance himself from Hamas and the fighting in the Gaza Strip, and presenting himself and presenting the Palestinian Authority, which really doesn't have that much power and really doesn't have, and this was a lot of the criticism we heard when countries were recognizing a Palestinian state, it really doesn't have a lot of the presence that a government would have. It doesn't have dominion over the Gaza Strip. There are large parts of the West Bank that it doesn't actually control, that are either controlled by the Israelis or other Palestinian groups. So he's going to be making a plea not only to say that Israel needs to end its fighting in the Gaza Strip, but that the Palestinian Authority under his leadership can take up the mantle of a new day after in the Gaza Strip and in the West Bank, and that it can continue to be kind of the big voice, the public voice of the Palestinian people to the international community.
Matt, other headlines from the General Assembly. Iran's president made some headlines with his speech. He lashed out at the U.S. and Israel for their attacks on the country's nuclear facilities back in June, notably something President Trump also brought up in his speech. What was his message?
His message was basically that the U.S. and Israel had radically destabilized the region and that they were the villains here. He wanted to remind the international community that, of course, it was Israel who started first in their attacks against Iran. And he also was talking a little bit about what's going on in the background amongst all of this diplomacy at the United Nations, and that is Iran's desperate effort to try to prevent European nations from putting back into place these so-called snapback sanctions that are part of that JCPOA, the big deal that the Obama administration negotiated with Iran to open up Iran back in 2015. It was later withdrawn. The U.S. was withdrawn by the the Trump administration in 2018. But the Iranians are worried that the European states are going to snap back sanctions on them starting on Sunday if they don't get some sort of negotiated deal to keep up this agreement by Saturday. So the clock is ticking for the Iranians, even as they're on the international stage, blasting the U.S. and Israel for their behavior over the summer.
Well, let's head to Texas, where Camp Mystic plans to partially reopen next summer. This is just months after deadly flooding ravaged the area, including that all-girls camp, and at that particular camp, killing 27 people. The decision is sparking outrage among some of the victims' families. NBC News correspondent Priya Sridhar has the details.
Less than 3 months after devastating floods in Texas claimed the lives of 27 young girls and their counselors at Camp Mystic, the owners informing the families of the victims and the community in an email shared with NBC News by a source close to them that they have plans to partially reopen the camp next summer with a memorial, quote, dedicated to your precious daughters. The move shocking many of those families who told the New York Times they weren't consulted about the memorial. The mother of 8-year-old Seal Stewart, who is still missing, telling the Times, the camp is still pressing ahead with reopening, even if it means inviting girls to swim in the same river that may potentially still hold my daughter's body. The parents of 7 of those girls, now known as Heavens 27, sat down with NBC's Jenna Bush Hager earlier this month.
And as I started looking into, the different facts and circumstances, it became very, very clear that this wasn't an accident.
The owners say they'll reopen the area of the camp that was not damaged by the floods while they work to evaluate how to rebuild along the Guadalupe River. Also emphasizing they'll comply with the requirements of the newly passed Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act, which bans building cabins in flood zones and requires camps to have detailed emergency planning and training for all staff. Priya Sridhar, NBC News.
It's time now to get a check on your morning news now weather. We're actually going to start with a newly named tropical storm. This is Umberto. This morning, forecasters say it may turn into a hurricane in the coming days. We've got our meteorologist Angie Lastman here on all the details. Hi, Angie. What's the latest here?
Hi, Savannah. Good morning to you. Boy, it was a quiet start to our hurricane season, but things have really ramped up in the Atlantic, and that starts with something that we saw develop yesterday. That's Tropical Storm Umberto. Winds at 45 miles per hour and moving northwest at 10 miles per hour. Now, this system's still just under 500 miles to the east-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands, but we are going to watch it in the coming days to likely intensify, becoming probably a Category 2 hurricane by the time we get into Sunday, Category 3 by Monday, and then kind of sitting just off to the west of Bermuda by the time we get into the middle of next week. Now, we're looking for this to curve out to sea, so we're not all that concerned about impacts for the United States with this system, but we've got other things going on. We still are kind of dealing with Hurricane Gabrielle, but that is on its way to the east, so we're watching for impacts to the Azores for that. But it's Tropical Disturbance 94L that we're really going to keep a close eye on here in the coming days. It's got an 80% chance of developing over the next 7 days, and that means we're likely going to see this become a tropical depression down the line. But we've got a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the models. Here's what's going on. We kind of have two of these systems happening pretty close to each other, and this is all lending itself to that uncertainty that I mentioned with the models. So we don't have a good agreement on exactly what's going to happen down the line. 94L does look to develop into a tropical storm or hurricane down the line again. It likely, as far as the American model is concerned, will parallel the southeast coast, but then it kind of gets pulled back towards Umberto. And this is kind of part of what I mentioned yesterday, if you were watching the show, of the Fujiwara effect, where when two systems are really close to each other, they kind of do this little dance, a little do-si-do, and influence each other and interact maybe the intensity or the path of the other one. And that's kind of what we potentially could see happen down the line. But there's also, of course, the European model, which has kind of a different setup. The latest model run does show this system coming into the Carolinas early next week. Now, Umberto will remain well out into the Atlantic at that time. And kind of this is why we don't have a great solution for exactly what we expect to happen in the long term as we get into the early parts of next week, because the models disagree so much. So this basically means we've got to watch and see exactly where 94L develops. That location of where the center is when it develops is going to be really important. Does it interact with the Dominican Republic? Does it have to deal with the mountains there? All of these are questions that are going to kind of give us a better idea of where the intensity is and where the path of that system is down the line. But either way, we're going to be keeping a close eye on that from now until then. We've also got some rainy conditions to talk about across parts of the east. This is that same system that we've been watching for days and days. It's been a slow mover, but it is bringing some rain up and down the east coast today. We'll see the heaviest of it focused across New England with some isolated pockets of flooding possible. And of course, we know air travel, road travel could be a little difficult because of that today.
Certainly. All right, Angie, thank you so much.
Of course.
Well, there's much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, too good to be true, real apartments being featured in fake ads all over social media. What authorities want you to know. First, though, after the break, more weather news, developing news out of one of the world's strongest storms slamming Asia. We'll bring you the latest on Typhoon Ragasa next. Stay with us. We are back now with new details about a deadly storm sweeping across Asia that's impacting tens of millions. Typhoon Ragasa has hit Hong Kong and southern China with winds gusting over 120 miles per hour. Watch this video. It brought flooding so powerful it buckled the doors of that hotel we were showing you, sweeping several people away. Look at this right here. NBC News international correspondent Janice Mackey-Freyer has the latest.
The typhoon, called the King of Storms, hammered Hong Kong and southern China, with powerful winds and rain so heavy that seawater rushed through the doors of this Hong Kong hotel and swept through the lobby. At the harbor, rescuers pulled a family to safety, while on the coast, cameras captured storm surges inundating restaurants. This owner showing the damage done.
It's completely gutted right throughout, the whole bottom floor. Pressure of the wave that came right over the wall.
In neighboring Macau, streets were underwater as Typhoon Ragasa churned across the South China Sea. The storm making landfall a second time here in China, slamming into Guangdong province, where authorities had evacuated nearly 2 million people to shelters. The strongest tropical storm on Earth this year, Ragasa has cut a path of devastation that started in the Philippines and passed south of Taiwan. where a barrier lake burst, triggering raging floods that killed at least 17 people. Experts say storms like this are only getting worse here due to warming seas and climate change, causing heavier rain that's lasting longer. Ragasa has been weakening as it moves now to Vietnam, but keeping the entire region on high alert. Janice Mackey-Freyer, NBC News, Beijing.
We have more international news for you now. Another airport in Denmark was forced to shut down over drone sightings. NBC News international correspondent Claudio Lavanga joins us from Rome with our world news in 60 seconds. Claudio, good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. Yeah, that's right. For the second time this week, authorities in Denmark were forced to close yet another airport after drones were seen flying overhead. Now, this comes 2 days after flights were cancelled in the capital, Copenhagen. This time, Danish police say they closed Aalborg Airport, used for commercial and military flights, after more than one drone were seen flying over it with their lights on. An investigation has been opened. Let's go to Malawi now, where Peter Mutharika has won the presidential election there. It's the second time the 85-year-old is elected president. His first term, which ended in 2020, was marked by strong popular discontent due to food shortages, power cuts, and accusations of corruption. This time, Mutharika will have to tackle an economic crisis and regular shortages of fuel and medicine. And let's end this tour of the world here in Italy, where the northern city of Bolzano proposed to introduce a dog tax. If the bill is approved, residents will have to pay €100, more than $100 a year per dog, and tourists will be charged $1.75 if they bring a dog with them. Now, Bolzano is not new to this crackdown on dogs. For the past 2 years, dogs had to undergo DNA testing so that authorities will be able to track down those that leave waste behind. Sounds more like a plot for CSI for dogs,
no
Savannah.
Kidding.
Well, hopefully the dog owners there must hope that it's all bark and no bite.
Good one, Claudia. Dang, I didn't even know that was possible. Wow. All right, watch out. Claudia, thank you. Well, in Nepal, they are still cleaning up after violent political protests ended with the collapse of the government earlier this month. Upset with corruption and growing inequality, a group of Gen Z protesters took things into their own hands and ended up taking down the government in just a matter of days. Our friend NBC News Now anchor Gadi Schwartz has a look at what sparked the movement.
Nepal has been upended by a youthquake. Violent street protests led by Gen Z sending the very seat of government up in flames and ending a prime ministership.
This government does not care about us. It's time for us to get on the streets, wear our masks, wear our helmets, and come down on the street and challenge the government, because I feel like they're taking us for granted at this point.
The first tremors of the movement were felt in March with a fiery speech by a 16-year-old student during a school ceremony.
Today I stand here with the dream of building a new Nepal, with a fire of hope and passion burning within me.
That went viral, inspiring other young Nepalese and spawning remixes like this.
Nepal, our mother, this country gave us birth.
The context of it all, Nepal's massive youth population has little opportunity in one of the world's poorest countries.
We are bounded by the chains of unemployment, fleeing abroad in search of opportunities.
But for the children of Nepal's wealthy elites, it was a different story. And as that speech was going viral, the hashtag Nepo Kids caught fire too.
Nepo babies, the babies that politicians' babies were having a relaxed life. That creates a hunger of revolution in youth.
So on September 4th, the government instituted a social media ban, and that's when things got extremely violent. Police fired on youth protesters as they tried to break into the parliament building in Kathmandu.
So they were just protesting, but like government started violence, they started shooting the children in the school dress.
Protesters escalated, looting businesses and torching officials' homes. On September 9th, the prime minister stepped down, and he hasn't been seen publicly since. Overall, some 70 people were killed, which led to days of public funeral processions.
He told his friends that we shouldn't be scared and that what we were doing is for the country. And then he started moving further towards the front of the protest, and then he got shot.
Then on September 12th, an interim prime minister was sworn in, and she's promised to step down in 6 months. Some Gen Zers who took part in the protests are optimistic about the future and clear about what they want from the interim government.
We're expecting to make our country like Denmark, free of corruption. We are going to make our country literally beautiful in every aspect, like in economy and education.
But for the youth leading Nepal's revolution, the rebuilding of their nation has only just begun. Gadi Schwartz, NBC News.
Coming up, hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs heading back to court for the first time since his high-profile trial. What we know about today's hearing as he awaits sentencing. This is Morning News Now. Welcome back this morning. Sean Diddy Combs is set to make his first court appearance since he was found guilty on 2 prostitution-related charges. That was back in July, you probably remember. Well, in a new court filing this week, lawyers for Combs argued the music mogul deserves a prison sentence of no more than 14 months, saying, quote, "It is time for Mr. Combs to go home to his family." Now, Combs is due to be sentenced, I should say, on October 3rd, and by then he will already have served nearly 13 months. So taking into account credit for good behavior, it's possible he could even be free next week. But NBC News legal analyst Danny Ceballos is going to kind of fact-check that for us. He's with us. Danny, good morning. So first, just remind us how we got here and the charges that Combs was convicted of back in July, because there was a lot that he was not convicted of. So where did we stand in July?
Exactly. Combs was charged with RICO and sex trafficking. He was ultimately convicted of the least serious charge, which is called the Mann Act, which is essentially transportation plus prostitution. So now this is the motion for judgment of acquittal stage. We always make these motions at the end of a trial. We usually don't brief them as robustly as they have in this case, but they're arguing essentially that the evidence was insufficient to support a conviction. Not that, Judge, do you disagree with the jury? It's a very high hill to climb. You have to show that no jury could have possibly reached their conclusion. This jury just made a huge mistake. You're also asking for a new trial in the alternative. That's a secondary request, usually denied.
Okay, what would be the best and worst sort of outcomes here for Combs?
In theory, Combs could get an acquittal today from the judge. The judge could take the verdict of the Mann Act away from the jury. And then the second best, of course, would be a new trial. But I have to tell you, statistically, this virtually never happens. You're more doing it to preserve the record on appeal. But I got to say, Combs has a fantastic legal team, and they have some good arguments. For example, hey, Judge, this was basically amateur pornography, and pornography is legal, right? People do pay actors to have sex on camera. That's what Combs was doing. Therefore, Judge, this is an improper conviction. Again, it's a long shot, but it's a creative, intelligent argument.
I just mentioned how he could maybe even be free next week after all this hoopla. First of all, do you think that is what percentage chance would you put on that? And then kind of more broadly, based on your answer on that, walk us through sentencing, what you expect to see, what the judge takes into account.
Right. In theory, he could get acquitted today. Not likely. When he is sentenced, his team, and this happens all the time at sentencing, the defense asks for a huge lowball when it comes to sentencing, and the government and probation usually ask for much higher sentences. The government's going to be asking for about 5 to 6 years, but Diddy has a very creative argument. And look, I do this too. You know, you're paid by the client. Sometimes you have to say, well, do I be realistic with the judge or do I shoot for the moon? And they've shot for the moon. They're basically saying 14 months. He's already got about that in time served. So that would basically be a time served sentence. So the argument here, and they make a number of them, is that this conviction is outside the heartland of the Mann Act. The Mann Act, by the way, has a sordid history. The name of the statute is, I kid you not, the White Slave Traffic Act. It was passed in 1910 when white members of Congress had this fear that black and brown people were kidnapping white women and selling them into slavery. In modern times, what Congress did was say, well, all right, it won't be for immoral purposes. Instead, it'll be for prostitution. And that is not really in the heartland of what Combs did. And that's why it is an interesting philosophical argument. But Judge Subramanian, I've been before him. He follows the rules. He knows the law. And an argument that has a good philosophical angle, if it's not supported by the law, might not carry the day.
All right. Very interesting. Danny Ceballos, I'm sure we'll be talking after this happens. Thank you so much. Well, coming up, AI makes its mark on Wall Street. More traders using the technology to make decisions in the stock market. We're going to talk about the trend. And bad blood will take you to Rhode Island, where a controversial new tax, nicknamed the Taylor Swift tax, is costing some residents a lot of money. We will explain next on Morning News Now. We're back with an NBC News investigation into a growing scam on social media. Some scammers are using real videos and images from actual real estate agents to create fake apartment ads on social media. So the ads promote like enticingly cheap rents in high-priced markets. I've seen these all over Instagram for here in New York City. Well, NBC News Chief Consumer Investigative Correspondent and News Now anchor Vicky Nguyen takes a look for us.
Big bedroom with a balcony, which you're going to see in a second, which is really cool.
The ads look real and appealing, but experts say beware of apartment hunting on social media apps like Instagram and TikTok. Many of these videos we found are posted by scammers, impersonating real agents and manipulating real listings. New York real estate agent Mike Bussey runs Real NYC Apartments. So that's your video.
That's my video, 12 million views on that.
He showed us how fraudsters repost his videos on bogus accounts, claiming to have rents far below market rate, all with the intent of luring potential renters to send an application fee quickly before the deal disappears.
This is a 2-bed, 2.5 bath. So each bedroom has its own private ensuite bath. My mother had shown me the video and gone, Mike, this is such a good deal. I'll rent it myself. My mother's a very intelligent person, so she fell for this. Imagine how many other people have fallen for this. And also, she had assumed that I was trying to drum up more business by lying. So I can't imagine how many people have thought that of me as well.
The scammers say this goes for $1,700 a month. What's the reality?
The reality is it's $12,000 a month.
The problem getting worse. In just the first 5 months of this year, the FBI received more than 130 real estate complaints referencing social media sites, with people reporting about $600,000 lost to scammers, about the same number of complaints received in all of last year. 28-year-old Jenny Diaz thought she found her dream apartment in Manhattan for $1,100 a month.
Everything looked legit. They looked really nice, and it made me hopeful.
So she contacted the number in the listing and paid a $350 application fee that she was told was refundable. She received this confirmation, but was then asked for another $1,000. How did you feel when you realized it was a scam?
It really sucked. Especially because at that time, I was really trying to manage my finances, and with the possibility of possibly getting an apartment, it broke my heart.
NBC News reviewed dozens of incidents from around the country of online impersonators using photos and credentials of licensed real estate agents. Realtor Shane Boyle says he's been targeted by dozens of scammers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on and on. None of these accounts are actually yours?
They're not mine, no.
But that's your picture.
They're all my picture,
and your name.
Yeah, and my name, yeah. Honestly, I have a pit in my stomach looking at that. I mean, it's horrible.
Meanwhile, Boyle receives calls, texts, and emails from people thinking he's the one behind the account they're messaging, sometimes even attacking him online. Here's one calling you a scammer who stole their aunt's money on TikTok and blocked her. You need to rot for what you've done. Wow. I mean, like, these are people threatening you, insulting you for something that a scammer did in your name.
Yeah, I try to block that out, actually. That's kind of get me a bit emotional.
NBC News sent Meta and TikTok links to accounts that appeared to be scams, and both companies took those profiles down. TikTok tells NBC News it proactively removed 97% of content that violated its guidelines on impersonation in the first quarter of this year. Meta says it uses automated and manual systems to block accounts that abuse the company's standards, but that scammers are constantly changing their tactics. Bussey has reported more than 1,000 of his videos posted on fake accounts, a task so time-consuming he had to hire someone to help get them taken down. He and Boyle say it's a never-ending cycle. How many of these accounts have popped up over the last couple of years?
Let's say I put down one today. If I report it to whatever social media channel, maybe 2 goes up the next day. So it's like it's such a whack-a-mole situation where I'm not sure. I've lost count.
Vicky Nguyen, NBC News.
Oh, what a great report there. Well, we have more financial headlines for you now. If you're using ChatGPT or another AI software to help make your money moves, you are not alone. CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with more on that and our other Wall Street headlines. Hey, Silvana, good morning.
Savannah, good morning to you. So let's start with, hey, ChatGPT, what stock should I buy? Well, a new survey from data analytics firm Research and Markets finds 13% of investors are using a chatbot to pick stocks, and half are open to using AI tools. Now, that's fueling a boom in the robo-advisory market, which includes companies offering automated, algorithm-driven financial advice. such as banks, wealth managers, and fintech. But fans and experts alike say that this is a high-risk strategy that, well, it just can't replace traditional financial advisors just yet. Meanwhile, Waymo is rolling out a new service for businesses, letting companies set up accounts so employees can hail robo-taxis in Los Angeles and Phoenix, San Francisco, Austin, and Atlanta. Now, the move is targeted at recurring corporate travel, giving employers control over where, when, and how workers use the robo-taxis. Waymo says nearly 1 in 6 local riders use the service for their commute. And the NFL's Finance Committee approving the sale of a more than 2% stake in the Chicago Bears to existing owners of the team. Sources tell CNBC the deal is a league record, valuing the Bears at nearly $9 billion. The team was valued at $6.4 billion just last year in CNBC's official team valuations, ranking it 10th among the 32 NFL franchises. The stake was held by the estate of Andrew McKenna, who died in 2023. Now, the NFL hasn't responded to questions from CNBC about the sale, Savannah.
Right, interesting. Savannah, thank you. Yeah. All right, well, there is a growing debate here. This is this controversial new tax in Rhode Island, and it targets the super wealthy. It has even been dubbed the Taylor Swift tax because she's got a big vacation home there. So what it is, it means that you've got additional property taxes if you've got like a second or third home there. So people who don't live there full time. NBC News correspondent Yasmin Vasugian has more.
A fresh push by states going after new money and old.
There's only so far new money goes. They picked out a home and called it Holiday House.
And it's that holiday house Taylor Swift is singing about at the center of a new national debate. Earlier this summer, Rhode Island passed what some are calling the Taylor Swift tax.
Did you come up with the name? Did I come up with the name? I cannot take credit for the name.
The real name is the Non-Owner Property Tax Act. It's basically a surcharge for people who don't live in Rhode Island year-round and have a second home in the state worth more than $1 million.
The money from that fund goes towards developing and maintaining affordable housing for Rhode Islanders.
So why Taylor Swift? Well, she owns one of the most expensive properties in all of Rhode Island at roughly $28 million. The new tax levy would add roughly $136,000 to her annual property taxes, which may sound like a lot, but Swift is worth $1.6 billion. Swift and her team have not publicly reacted to the new law, nor did they respond to NBC News' request for comment. But the massive gated mansion is located in Westerly, right on the shoreline, with dozens of other expensive homes around it.
Nearly half of the homes valued at over $1 million that sold last year in Rhode Island were purchased by people who don't live in Rhode Island. We are asking them to either pay their fair share via the tax code or to make that housing available via rentals in order to avoid the Taylor Swift tax.
Senator Megan Coleman co-sponsored the bill, and her office estimates the new law will bring in about $37 million a year. Others in Rhode Island not so happy about it.
For many of the people who own these houses up here and enjoy this gorgeous state of Rhode Island, it does feel like a personal affront.
Real estate brokers like Donna Simmons are concerned the new law will discourage the wealthy from buying or staying in Rhode Island.
And I would just hate for in 10 or 15 years for us all to look around, who live here year-round, who love this place year-round, and to see that we don't have the seasonal tourism.
But it's not just Rhode Island that's looking to tax wealthy vacation homeowners.
Montana also passing a tax on second homes and investment properties that's going to take effect next year. It would raise property taxes 68% for vacation homes, but lower taxes for full-time residents.
Similar proposals being considered in Cape Cod, and it's even a hot-button issue in the financial capital of the world, New York City, where mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani is campaigning to fix the property tax system.
That is overtaxing a number of New Yorkers and undertaxing others, and an inability of political will to resolve that.
In his policy memo, Mamdani highlighting a $238 million apartment taxed at less than 0.25%. After the sale in 2019, New York State even considered a pied-à-terre tax on second homes worth more than $5 million, but it was ultimately squashed. Part of the controversy, whether such taxes would be effective in raising money. Across the country, in Los Angeles, there's been a mansion tax since 2022, with mixed results.
It's expected to raise up to $1 billion a year. So far, it has raised less than half that.
Back in Rhode Island, all eyes are on Taylor Swift's beachside neighborhood. The big question, will she hold her upcoming wedding there?
We're proud to have her. That's not in question, right? This is a broader conversation about what constitutes justice, fairness in our tax code.
Fairness to some, a big bill for others. Just don't blame Taylor. Yasmin Vasugian, NBC News.
Good morning. Thank you for starting your Thursday with us. I'm Savannah Sellers. Joe's on assignment today. Right now on Morning News Now, the search for answers in Dallas over that tragic shooting at an ICE facility early yesterday morning that's left one detainee and the suspected shooter dead. What we're learning this morning about that alleged gunman and the bullet casing clue revealed by law enforcement. Also this morning, backfired. Jimmy Kimmel's hotly anticipated return to late night, catapulting his show to its highest ratings in a decade. Tuesday's broadcast drawing more than 6 million pairs of eyes despite still being off the air in nearly a quarter of U.S. homes. Last night, Kimmel doubling down on his criticisms of President Trump in the wake of that controversy over Charlie Kirk. We've got the latest from Hollywood. Plus, it's a popular chat platform that boasts hundreds of millions of users. But now security officials are warning extremists have been taking to Discord to recruit younger Americans. The worrying recent intelligence reports coming to light and how Discord is responding. And later in the hour, I'm going one-on-one with the CEO of McLaren Racing as the powerhouse team looks to reclaim Formula One championship glory. We love when anyone from that team stops by. Very excited about that. Well, we're going to begin this hour, though, with those new details in that deadly shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. Law enforcement says the 29-year-old gunman shot 3 detainees, killing one of them. Authorities say he was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound near the scene. And while the investigation is still in its early stages, top Republicans, including President Trump, are calling this a case of political violence, and the FBI calling it targeted violence. NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson is in Dallas with the latest. Priscilla, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We are told that the 2 surviving victims remain in critical condition, with Mexican authorities confirming that one of them is a Mexican national. And while President Trump and members of his administration are tying this attack to what they call rhetoric on the left against ICE and law enforcement, investigators on the ground here say that the shooter's motive remains unclear.
Multiple people shot.
There are many questions this morning about what led to a deadly shooting at an ICE field office in Dallas. Authorities say the gunman fired multiple rounds at the facility from a nearby rooftop Wednesday morning.
Si pueden escuchar. So you hear the gunshots? Yeah.
Denise Robleto was in the parking lot waiting for her mother, who was inside, when she heard the gunfire and started recording on her phone. I was with my sister praying. God help us, she said. Investigators say the shooter killed a detainee in a transport van and critically wounded 2 others before taking his own life.
The shooter obviously didn't know who was in the vehicle. He was just randomly shooting at windows.
No officers were hurt in the attack, but investigators believe the gunman was targeting law enforcement, releasing this image of a bullet casing found near the shooter with anti-ICE written on it. Photos released by DHS also show bullet holes in a window and an American flag inside the facility. Multiple senior law enforcement officials identifying the suspected shooter as 29-year-old Joshua Jan. In an interview with NBC News, the shooter's brother describing him as someone who didn't have strong feelings about ICE, adding he wasn't interested in politics on either side as far as he knew. President Trump blaming the shooting on what he called radical left Democrats, constantly demonizing law enforcement and comparing ICE officers to Nazis.
If your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell.
This morning, the mayor of Dallas calling for peace and unity.
To support one another, help us all get through this very difficult time, not just in our city, but in our country.
And we're also learning more about the shooter. NBC News spoke with his older brother, who said that while his parents did own a gun, he did not know his brother to be a, quote, marksman, that's for sure. We also had an opportunity to speak with a Boy Scout trooper who has known this alleged shooter since he was a teen. And the trooper described a conversation that they had several years ago about the migrant caravans that were heading into the U.S. And he said that the shooter was upset that people did not understand the desperation of people to get out of a bad situation, and that he was also upset with the way that immigration was being handled in this country. But that trooper also said that he did not know this shooter as someone who was violent. He knew him as someone who was against gun violence. So still finding all of this so surprising, the idea that he could be responsible for an attack like this.
All right, Priscilla, thank you very much. Well, we are now less than 6 days from a potential government shutdown as Democrats and Republicans remain in a standoff over federal funding. Well, last week, the Senate rejected GOP-led House plan to keep the government open until November. The White House, though, now laying the groundwork for possible layoffs should a shutdown happen. NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles joins us with the latest here. Ryan, good morning. Where do we stand right now?
Well, Savannah, good morning. This is certainly an escalation. This guidance from the Office of Management and Budget, it's unprecedented, and it puts at risk the jobs of millions of federal workers across the country. It comes as the clock is ticking toward that government funding deadline, and no signs of any progress of a deal. This morning, jobs under threat as the clock ticks towards a government shutdown.
I think you could very well end up with a closed country for a period of time.
The Trump administration threatening to fire federal employees if a deal to fund the government isn't reached in less than a week. Usually, if the government shuts down, some workers go on unpaid leave. But now the White House raising the stakes, saying additional jobs will be lost for programs that will lose funding and are not, quote, consistent with the president's priorities. Overnight, Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer calling the move, quote, intimidation, saying Donald Trump has been firing federal workers since day one, not to govern, but to scare. This has nothing to do with funding the government. The stalemate goes beyond Washington. Shutdowns affect workers across the country, from the military to the Postal Service to national parks. Democrats have been holding out for more money for health care in any potential agreement, including extending some coverage for Americans under the Affordable Care Act and reversing Trump's cuts to Medicaid.
8 words, not difficult for Donald Trump to process. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care.
Many Republicans say that's too expensive.
This is not the time or the place to do this. They're asking for hundreds of billions of dollars of additional spending.
The two sides had been set to meet at the White House today, but President Trump canceling, writing, I've decided that no meeting with their congressional leaders could possibly be productive, while Democrats double down for now.
Donald Trump wants a shutdown. He wants to be king. He has no interest anymore in governance or working with Congress.
So what happens next? At this point, Democrats are skeptical the Trump administration would actually follow through on this threat if the government were to shut down, in part because of the rocky process of Elon Musk's DOGE committee that they went through during their attempt to reduce the federal workforce in the spring. Many of the employees that were let go during that round of cuts have actually been asked to come back to work. Savannah?
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. Well, the Justice Department is weighing whether to indict former FBI Director James Comey for allegedly lying to Congress. This is according to 2 DOJ officials and a person familiar with the matter telling NBC News. This all comes days after President Trump publicly put pressure on his own attorney general to prosecute some of his political opponents. NBC News senior White House correspondent Garrett Haake joins us with the latest on this. Hey, Garrett, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. And since the president's Saturday post calling for those prosecutions that you just referenced, well, the attorney general has sworn in a new hand-picked prosecutor for the district handling this investigation. And now she and other DOJ leaders are set to decide whether to criminally charge a longtime critic of the president, a consideration already being viewed skeptically by former federal prosecutors and being blasted by Democrats.
This morning, the Department of Justice weighing whether to charge former FBI Director James Comey with lying to Congress, according to 2 DOJ officials. A representative for Comey declining to comment. The charges would mark the first criminal case against a person President Trump publicly called on the Attorney General to prosecute, in a post Saturday calling Comey and 2 Democratic politicians, quote, guilty as hell. The president writing on Truth Social, we can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. Justice must be served now.
I just want people to act. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty or if they should be charged, they should be charged. And we have to do it now.
Any charges would revolve around testimony Comey gave before the Senate in late September of 2020.
I stand by what the testimony you summarized that I gave
about whether he ever authorized a leak to the press about investigations of President Trump, which Comey denied. Senior Justice Department officials tell NBC News that Eric Siebert, the U.S. attorney overseeing the Comey investigation, resigned last week rather than seek an indictment because of a lack of evidence. This week, Attorney General Pam Bondi swore in his replacement, Lindsay Halligan, a former personal attorney for Mr. Trump who has no experience as a prosecutor and was handpicked by the president.
This week is like multiple Watergates at the same time. We don't need to pretend that we're not sure of what Trump's motives are.
President Trump fired Comey from his job as FBI director in 2017 over his handling of the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential campaign, and has attacked him regularly since.
Look, he's a showboat. He's a grandstander. I didn't put him there. I didn't want him there. I thought he was terrible, actually.
Barbara McQuaid is a former U.S. attorney.
His relentless attack on Jim Comey throughout the years since he's been president the first time and this time, I think raises a lot of concern that this might be a politically motivated prosecution.
There's also a decision-making deadline here, Savannah. There is a 5-year statute of limitations for charges of lying to Congress, which means the DOJ only has until about the middle of next week to decide once and for all whether to bring a case here or let this matter go.
All right, Garrett, thank you so much. Well, President Trump is expected to sign a deal today to facilitate the sale of TikTok. So it's supposed to be sold from a Chinese-based company that's called ByteDance to a group of American investors. And that news is according to 2 senior White House officials. Well, once a deal is implemented, TikTok's U.S. operations would be run by a new joint venture company. This deal should comply with a bipartisan law passed last year. It sought to ban the social media giant if it wasn't sold to U.S.-based owners. President Trump has extended the deadline, to avoid a ban several times this year. A senior White House official tells NBC News the president now plans to extend the pause for another 120 days to allow time for the deal to go through. We should have more information later this afternoon. Well, it's been nearly 8 months since, I'm sure you remember this, a devastating mid-air collision between a regional jet and a military helicopter over Washington, D.C., where 67 people died. Well, now a family member of one of the victims has filed the first lawsuit, and it likely will not be the last. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock joins us now with more on this. Just absolutely heartbreaking. Sam, good morning.
Good morning. This happened in January. It materially changed everything as it concerns aviation, Savannah. So Rachel Crafton's husband, Casey, he was a father of 3 who was on board that flight, 5342, when it collided with a military helicopter last January over the Potomac River. Now she's filed suit against the FAA, the Army, American Airlines, and its regional partner, PSA Airlines. Dozens of additional lawsuits are now expected from family members, as loved ones that we spoke with say that there were warning signs of this for years, and they want accountability. The heartbreak caused by the deadliest domestic plane crash in nearly a quarter century will be hard to heal from. And now the victims' families are demanding answers.
Many of us have been asked whether we dread the idea of rehashing the worst days of our lives in court. Our answer today is clear. We're ready.
Doug Lane lost his wife, Christine, and their 16-year-old son, Spencer, a figure skating prodigy, when their plane collided with an Army chopper near D.C.'s Reagan Airport. All 67 people on both aircraft were lost.
We think this story is actually much bigger and actually can be traced back years prior to that in terms of decisions that were made across the FAA, the U.S. Army, and American Airlines.
On Wednesday, Rachel Crafton, whose husband Casey also died, became the first family member to file a wrongful death lawsuit against the FAA, the U.S. Army, and the airlines involved. The suit says the United States Army flight crew failed to operate the Black Hawk helicopter at or below the mandatory altitude and noted a documented history of over 30 near-miss events where aircraft landing at DCA came within less than 1,000 feet from colliding with a helicopter. Dozens of other victims' families say they're preparing similar legal action, like Amy Hunter, whose cousin Peter, his wife, and their 2 kids all lost their lives.
Everly and Lydia
would be celebrating their birthdays this weekend. It's going to be hard for our family.
The FAA telling NBC News in part, since the accident, Secretary Duffy and the FAA have acted decisively to make the skies over our nation's capital safer. American Airlines saying our priority since January 29th has been supporting the families, adding it has a strong track record of putting the safety of our customers and team members above everything else. For many families devastated by the air disaster, like Matt Collins, whose brother Chris was on a business trip, the goal is clear.
Well, I'd like to see the government entities be held responsible. I think it was plainly obvious what had been happening for years.
So we should add, in a statement to NBC News, the U.S. Army says it is declining comment out of respect to the families involved as well as ongoing litigation, Savannah. Since this tragedy, the FAA has taken a number of steps to improve safety. The families say they're encouraged by bipartisan support from Congress on crafting an aviation safety bill. There's 3 separate possible pieces of legislation right now. But they're not going to stop advocating until there is a complete overhaul of this entire aviation system.
Gosh, some of these details just absolutely shocking.
So
how many
things.
Close calls there were, how much was not known about how difficult this airspace was.
Stunning.
It really is. All right, Sam, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Well, now let's get to the latest on Jimmy Kimmel's return to late-night television. Get this, according to Nielsen, his first night back on Tuesday was his highest-rated episode in over a decade. But not everyone is happy that Kimmel is back on TV. NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz joins us with the latest. Hi, Liz. Good morning.
Hey, Savannah. Good morning. Yeah, you said millions of people tuned in to watch Kimmel's show Tuesday night. It did give him his highest ratings in 10 years. Last night, Kimmel responded to President Trump's reaction to his return. And while many people are praising the way Kimmel has handled this situation, we are now hearing from others who say his remarks didn't go far enough.
Overnight, Jimmy Kimmel back again, a day after returning to his late-night show Tuesday, doubling down on President Trump's criticism.
You can't believe they gave me my job back. I can't believe we gave you your job back.
The late-night host also responding to the president's Truth Social post, where he suggested he may take legal action against the network for putting Kimmel back on the air.
Only Donald Trump would try to prove he wasn't threatening ABC by threatening ABC.
ABC says Kimmel's first show after his suspension, following conservative outrage to comments he made about Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter, was his highest-rated show in a decade, drawing 6.26 million broadcast viewers, despite being off the air in 23% of TV households. The network says his monologue also garnered more than 26 million streams across YouTube and social media.
He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly.
After ABC abruptly took Kimmel's show off the air last week following pressure from the head of the FCC, President Trump denied the government played a role, instead blaming Kimmel's ratings.
Kimmel he was fired. He had no talent. He had no ratings. His ratings were worse than Colbert, I think. They got rid of Colbert, which was a good thing to do.
On Tuesday night, Kimmel got emotional during his return.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
While delivering a passionate defense of free speech.
This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.
But some criticizing Kimmel for not directly apologizing for his comments. Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA, posting not good enough.
Where was the I'm sorry? Where was the contrition?
This morning, Kimmel remains off the air on nearly 60 ABC affiliates. The stations are owned by Sinclair and Nexstar, which both have pending business requiring FCC approval. Nexstar says they are currently engaged in productive discussions with Disney about bringing back the show, with a focus on ensuring the program reflects and respects the diverse interests of the communities we serve.
Has not said anything yet following Kimmel's return. Their previous statement said that discussions with ABC are ongoing. Experts say stations are likely to want to reach an agreement, but for now, the massive streaming numbers that came in indicate that the blackout may have driven people to watch on Kimmel's YouTube. Savannah.
All right, yeah, lots of numbers on social media platforms as well. Liz, thank you so much. Well, now it's time for a check on your morning news now weather. Angie Lossman, she's back here with a sneak peek at what is ahead for this weekend because it's already Thursday. Hi, Angie. Good morning.
I know. I am so looking forward to the weekend, Savannah, but we've got a whole lot to talk about when it comes to weather. We've got some rain across the east, and we've got a lot of things going on in the tropics. One of them being Tropical Storm Umberto, which developed yesterday, winds at 45 miles per hour, and it's something we're going to watch in the coming days. We've also got Invest 94L. Notice 90% chance of that developing in the next 7 days as well. And here's how it kind of plays out. The first thing I want you to know is what's happening right now, which is heavy rain in parts of Puerto Rico as well as the Dominican Republic. We will likely see the potential for significant flooding across that island today, and upwards of 4 or 5, even 6 inches of rain are going to be possible when this is all said and done. So we're concerned about that. Could see some gusty winds associated with that as well. But exactly where that system forms is going to be a big question. We likely will see it become a tropical depression probably by the time we get into this weekend, once it's closer to the Bahamas. But notice how wide that area of potential development is. Where you see that shaded red is where we're watching for potential development of 94L to become a tropical depression. And then down the line, what happens next? We've also got Humberto, which will become a major hurricane. It looks to be a Category 2 hurricane by the time we get to Sunday, Category 3 by Monday. This system likely to stay out to shore. But we've got a whole lot of model kind of madness going on, if you will. We've got the American model, which you see here, which kind of takes both of these systems farther to the north and west and then curves them back out to sea. This leaves 94L kind of paralleling the southeast coast and then pulled in towards Humberto, likely because of what's called the Fujiwara effect, where when storms get close to each other, they have influence on each other. So that means they can impact their path, their intensity of each other. Sometimes one takes over, sometimes one absorbs the other. Either way, we'll watch the vicinity of these being so close impact how this plays out. That's the American model, but stay with me here because we've also got the European model, and that has a little bit of a different solution. That means if we're going by this model, this latest one takes it basically into the Carolinas early next week. So if I live anywhere from the Atlantic beach down through the southeast coast, I'm going to be closely watching exactly where 94L develops and how it forms and what happens as we get into early next week. This is Tuesday morning, so we'll watch likely some better idea of exactly what's going to happen here as we get into the weekend. But even still, both models, good news, keep Humberto out over the Atlantic. So a lot still under question here. Savannah, we'll be keeping a close eye on that. But we've also got that rain that I mentioned across the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and parts of the Southeast. So if you're headed to the airport, if you're going to be out on the roads, or if you're just going to be out and about, umbrellas needed, a little extra time likely. We could see some minor flooding across that area.
Good tip. Also, as you're well aware, I love when you give us a forecast and a lesson.
Yeah.
Yesterday you teased the Fujiwara effect, and now we know.
I delivered.
Thank you so much. We're back with a special look on board the largest aircraft carrier in the world. It's the USS Gerald Ford. The ship is currently deployed in the North Sea as part of a huge show of force by NATO at a time where tensions with Russia, of course, are rising. NBC News reporter Matt Bodner, he was given access to the carrier. He joins us now from the Norwegian capital of Oslo. Matt, great to have you with us. We're so happy that you got to go have this experience. You can tell us about it. Tell us what you saw and what the ship is currently involved in.
Savannah, good morning. Well, we flew aboard the Ford on a U.S. Navy transport plane. They didn't tell us where we're going. We just know we were somewhere in the North Sea, and we landed on the ship. A few hours later, we also got shot off the front of the ship, and obviously an exciting experience. There's no windows on these planes, Savannah, so all you get is a 15-second call on either end of this, and it's a long 15 seconds. But basically, the ship right now, once we landed, there was an entire squadron of F-18 fighter jets basically lining the deck, and within a matter of minutes of arriving on the ship, we saw that entire squadron launched, and just as soon as that was done, another full squadron just came in and landed like it was nothing. We then took a tour of the ship, went down below the hangar deck, saw a few other spaces, and the entire time you could just hear just this constant cadence of launches and landings, entire squadrons of jets being launched. Now, all of this is not happening for nothing. Right now, the Ford is deployed with NATO in the North Sea, and it's part of a massive NATO maneuver that's taking place also simultaneously in the Baltic and in the Mediterranean, and it's all facing an eastern direction. This was planned months ago, but the context with Russia is very clear right now. And actually, separately, NATO officials told us that those planes we saw taking off, some of them were flying off on missions, patrols, also hitting simulated targets in Poland, Lithuania, and in Finland, and that's 1,000 miles away.
All right, Matt, not going to lie, I am pretty jealous of this experience with everything that you just told me. Sounds absolutely incredible and intriguing. Tell us, though, I know you also spoke with military officials on board. What did they tell you? What did you hear from them about kind of the goals here with this show of force?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like this was planned in advance, but this is, as they described it, NATO's sort of prestige military maneuver. They run it a few times a year, and the whole goal of it, as they would describe it, is to practice, but also to demonstrate to anyone watching that NATO is capable of coordinating multiple militaries across multiple theaters, sort of all in one direction, in the name of deterrence, as they would say. We did speak with the Forged Strike Group commander aboard the ship. That's Rear Admiral Paul Lanzalotta. Take a listen to how he described it. A U.S. carrier group, in this case a NATO group, anywhere sends a message. What's the message here?
That the NATO alliance is strong, that we operate together routinely. We do so in a seamless manner, and we're ready to defend the alliance on any given day.
So that conversation continued. The Admiral, in his words, also liked to use the term projecting power, obviously in this eastern direction as part of the purpose, part of the message here. And I would translate that and describe it as NATO sending a message to Russia, to the eastern members of the NATO alliance, that the alliance doesn't need to station a massive amount of hardware in Eastern Europe. It can respond to anything that happens there in a matter of hours.
Matt, as we've seen these incursions into NATO airspace by Russia recently, it's obviously ramped up tensions. How is that impacting, changing relationships and maneuvers and operations like this as our countries coordinate?
So this is an interesting question. It's definitely on everyone's minds right now, that tension with Russia. Just in the past few weeks, we've seen multiple instances of Russian aircraft, Russian drones violating NATO airspace. 2 NATO members have called for consultations on how to respond to this. Now, again, these maneuvers were planned in advance, but they're taking on this new context. We're also seeing NATO is adding additional operations. Eastern Sentry announced just a week ago, for example, with pre-deploying more air defense assets in Eastern Europe. But basically, Russia is on everyone's minds. There is a sense of heightened anxiety, particularly in this part of the world, about what Russia's up to, about what its intentions are. There is this sense that Russia is pushing the line, testing the alliance, testing America's commitment to the alliance, for example. We're in Oslo right now, where just a few days ago there was a mysterious drone sighting over the airport that saw the airport closed. There have been multiple incidents like that in Denmark, over Copenhagen. Now, no one has directly been blamed for those incidents, but officials have openly speculated that those are, again, Russian drones testing the waters. And also, with the exercises we're seeing now, we did learn from a German defense official this morning telling NBC News that Russian planes did buzz a German frigate taking part in these exercises. Savannah?
All right. Matt Bodnar, thank you very much. What a fascinating look. Well, there's some welcome news this morning for solo travelers looking to explore the world. More companies are eliminating the so-called single supplement. That includes extra fees for people who are traveling alone. NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung gives us a closer look at how you can save.
If you've ever booked a trip for one, you know the struggle. Hotels charging more, cruises slapping on fees, tour groups treating you like the odd one out.
It used to feel a little alien when people would call me brave. I'm like, I'm just like you. I just want to travel.
Caitlin Rosati says she's been to 90 countries by herself over the last 10 years and often felt penalized just for rolling solo.
The gondola ride in Venice, it's 90 euros no matter what. And so if you're a party of 4 or you're a party of 1, the flat rate is 90 euros. So it's a steep price to pay for being alone.
It's the so-called single supplement, an extra fee charged to solo travelers because hotels, cruises, and tours are often priced for 2. So if you book alone, you pay more just to cover the empty spot. According to a new report in the Washington Post, the tide appears to be turning. Google search data shows the term solo travel gradually climbing over the last 15 years until the pandemic, and then again reaching a record high this past summer.
I think a lot of people decided during the pandemic they wanted to travel come heck or high water. And so you saw that surge of travel interest, and solo travel is among those trends that we've seen just skyrocket.
And now some travel companies are capitalizing on that growing sector of travelers. From safaris in Tanzania waiving fees to cruise lines like Norwegian adding hundreds of cabins dedicated to solo travelers.
Sometimes if the cruise is not selling well, they will waive the solo supplement fee, which can be as much as a regular sailing. So not everyone's doing this, but those deals are definitely out there, and you're seeing more of that happen.
Rosati, who runs the blog No Man Nomad, says there's never been a better time to visit a destination alone.
I stayed at a hotel in Champagne, France by myself, and when I sat down for dinner, they handed me a newspaper, which at first I was like, that's quirky. But it was like, I think it's a nice gesture. It's just showing that companies are starting to notice.
The surge in solo travelers driven largely by women. In a report earlier this year, luxury travel network Virtuoso saying 68% of its solo clients are female.
I'm responsible for my own happiness.
Even superstar Tracee Ellis Ross getting in on the trend, documenting her own journey on her Roku show, Solo Traveling with Tracee Ellis Ross.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
And that's not to say I don't love still traveling with friends, because I do. But there is something really glorious about like shamelessly putting yourself first, of not having to answer to anybody.
With more changes seemingly on the horizon, it just might be the perfect time to stop waiting for a travel buddy and book yourself that solo trip.
Brian Chung, NBC News.
Thanks to Brian for that report. Coming up, a new security warning for users of one popular chat platform. Why intelligence officials are now sounding the alarm over extremists who are targeting younger Americans on the platform called Discord. That's next on Morning News Now. We're back with a look at two intelligence reports recently obtained by NBC News showing that state and federal law enforcement agencies issued a warning earlier this year about the risks of radicalization and recruitment on the chat platform Discord. According to the government documents, minors are being exposed to extremist material from foreign terrorist organizations on the platform. NBC News cybersecurity reporter Kevin Collier joins me with more on this. Kevin, good morning. So concerning, I think, for so many people to hear. I think for a lot of parents to hear who might not be familiar with these platforms. We understand these two reports came from the Department of Homeland Security and also Ohio's statewide Terrorism Analysis and Crime Center. Tell us what we're learning from them and how these two reports came to be.
So they say that since August of 2023, law enforcement has disrupted 3 plots across the country that involve juveniles sharing extremist violent intentions related to ISIS, Islamic State, and more than 20 across Western countries more broadly. One of them said, I'm going to quote it here, that specific discussions or aspirational plotting tends to occur on Discord where the average age of members when determinable was 15.
Kevin, Discord, it's even gotten increased attention. You just mentioned back to 2023, like years of this kind of growing. And then people might be a little bit more familiar with even just hearing the name of the platform in the last few weeks, because officials had said that the alleged shooter in Charlie Kirk's killing used that platform to communicate with people afterwards. How is Discord responding to all of this?
The company did not respond to our request for questions about these documents, but it said earlier in relation to the suspected Kirk assassin that it, quote, found no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord. To be fair, authorities have not specifically said that they found active planning on the platform. But FBI Director Kash Patel said that in the wake of the shooting, that the agency was looking into more than 20 Discord users who shared a private chat with the alleged shooter.
Kevin, also, you mentioned this, but I mean, really, there are numbers behind this, that the number of juvenile-driven plots of violence, it's gone up over the last couple of years. I think some people might hear this conversation and be like, young Americans are connecting with ISIS on this platform. Like, what? What are some of the biggest contributing factors behind this uptick in extremism? Why are young people connecting with these bad actors on a platform like this?
Well, I can tell you how the law enforcement agencies view it. They said, I'm going to quote here again, that American minors are, quote, increasingly susceptible to such messaging due to post-pandemic shifts in online behavior, social isolation, and rising mental health issues.
All right. So concerning and disturbing. Kevin Collier, thank you very much for your reporting here.
Thanks, Samantha.
Well, now let's take a closer look at what's happening in the world of politics this morning, as we always do. We're going to start with the escalating war of words between President Trump and the mayor of London. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin joins us for more. Hey, Julie, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. We begin in London, where the mayor there, Sir Sadiq Khan, is hitting back at President Trump, calling him, quote, misogynistic and Islamophobic after Trump made comments about Khan at the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday. That was in New York City, and Trump said London had a, quote, terrible, terrible mayor, and said they want to go to Sharia law. But the mayor told the BBC overnight he appears to be, quote, living rent-free inside Donald Trump's head. Now to D.C., here in Washington, where the Trump administration is asking hundreds of federal employees it previously fired to return to work next month at the General Services Administration. That's the agency that constructs, manages, and preserves government buildings. Earlier this year, you'll remember Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, laid off government employees across agencies. And since then, Savannah, several agencies, in addition to the GSA, have asked those employees to return to work. And finally, a bizarre story in Tennessee, where the former House Speaker has been sentenced to 3 years in prison after he was convicted in a legislative mail scheme. Former Republican Rep. Glenn Cassida and his then chief of staff were convicted on criminal fraud charges related to a money-making and bribery scheme the DOJ said began in 2019 when Cassida was a sitting lawmaker. And that is a look at what is making news in politics this morning. Savannah?
All right, Julie, thank you so much. Well, coming up, our in-car touchscreens on a crash course for the scrapyard. When Morning News Now returns, why a growing group of automakers are ditching the displays in favor of something drivers can feel, the good old button. Stay with us. That's up next. We are back now with a growing trend in the auto industry. For anyone who has ever been frustrated by that touch screen on your car, this one is for you. Multiple major car makers are now throwing technology in reverse, hitting the brakes on touchscreens and bringing back physical buttons for things like music, air conditioning, and more. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa joins us from Chicago with more on this trend. She's right there. She's in the car. What you got, Maggie? Touchscreen, button? I can't tell.
We've got a touchscreen, we've got some buttons, we've got all the puns, Savannah. Yeah, we're so prepared for this spot. But look, I mean, this is the deal that we're talking about, right? So many people, so many models have touchscreens now. And to go from like maps to your music or back to other functions, you're just touching this flat screen. But a lot of people, a growing number of American drivers, one study showing half, miss buttons, miss things that are more tactile. And as a result, a growing number of automakers are throwing technology in reverse.
Once fascinated with features of the future.
What the hell is going on here?
This morning, some car lovers appear to be reversing course on touchscreen technology.
Why would I want to control my mirrors, my seats, all this stuff on a screen?
Now, a growing number of automakers vowing to bring back buttons. Most recently, Mercedes-Benz, who this month unveiled plans to include more physical controls in several of their upcoming models available starting next year. The company telling NBC News they've listened closely to customer feedback and analyzed real-world usage data, adding physical controls offers superior usability and comfort for many drivers.
It does not surprise me at all.
Analysts say the shift rooted in convenience and safety.
Particularly in terms of distraction and having to dig through menus as they are trying to navigate through, increasingly crazy roads out there.
This after a years-long wave of luxury and mainstream car brands installing screens. Eventually, experts say novelty gave way to nostalgia.
You're with friends and there's that song that comes on. Who wants to go, doo, 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 doo? You want to go like this, right? You go, oh, I love this. Oh, my gosh.
You want to crank it. You want to physically crank it up.
At suburban Chicago's Mercedes-Benz of Orland Park, GM Mo Ganima expects button-outfitted models to start arriving next year.
You've been hearing this from customers.
Absolutely. So many people want it. I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to see this roll out. And we should know, by the way, a lot of these newer models are still going to have screens, but they'll just have way more buttons for things that you use a lot, like volume, air conditioning, those kinds of things. And one layer that we found really interesting, experts tell us buttons, one reason for why we've all had screens for a little while now, buttons are actually more expensive because if you think about it, they're tiny custom parts that have to be like manufactured and installed. That takes a lot of expertise and time. So we asked if we can expect car prices to go up as a result of this, and both the experts we spoke to, Savannah, said they don't expect that to happen. If it happens, it'll be minimal, and once again, you'll have the buttons to play with to distract yourself from that, if that's the case.
Honestly, my touchscreen in my car does drive me nuts a lot, so I get it. All right, Maggie, thank you so much.
Same.
All right, we're going to stay with cars now, but we're going to speed things up a little. There are now just 7 races to go in the 2025 Formula One season. One team currently way out in the lead to win this year's Constructors' Championship. That is McLaren Racing. Right now, it's two drivers, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, ranked #1 and #2 in the world, and with double-digit leads. Well, after last weekend's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, their next test will be in Singapore on October 3rd. In the meantime, we are lucky to be able to welcome back the man behind McLaren's huge success, CEO Zach Brown. Zach, we love when you stop by. Thank you for coming again.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
It's so great to see you. Tell us your priority as you head in to the Singapore Grand Prix. Last weekend didn't go quite how you wanted. What changes can you make? What adjustments can you make?
Last week never happened. I think we've had a fantastic season. And like all sports, you've got your good days, your bad days. Baku was not a great day. But we go again in Singapore. We won last year. I think we'll be very strong there. Hopefully we can clinch the Constructors' Championship. And, of course, we've got an epic battle going on between Oscar and Lando. And this Max Verstappen, 4-time world champion, guys, he's not too far behind.
Who's he? No, just kidding.
It's going to be an exciting finish to the year.
Zach, I love that you just mentioned that. And I think for viewers now, and I do want to ask you about this in a moment, I think a lot of our viewers probably are F1 fans now in the U.S. But for people who aren't, what you just said I think is so interesting. Maybe if you just watched the big F1 movie, the fact that there is a competition between teammates is unique to this sport. Explain what that is like, that dynamic behind the scenes between the two.
It's fascinating. Having once raced, the first person you want to beat is your teammate because you know they're in equal equipment. And so you've kind of have the measure. And historically in the sport, it has been quite a challenge to have two #1 drivers battling it out. But we've got two great personalities who have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. They want to race and win the right way. And so, our job as a team now is to continue to give them equal equipment, equal opportunity, and let the best man win.
You became CEO in 2018. That year, the team finished 6th. You've had at least 6 different drivers since then. Now, I mean, you guys are clearly, as I laid out, you're the team to beat, you're the team to watch, even just in the past few years, the way that it's gone from sort of like a default Mercedes win or Red Bull win to McLaren. How have you done that?
People has definitely been #1. Of course, we've got fantastic technology. We've got great technology from our partners. But even the worst team in Formula One is really good. That 2% separates the entire grid. So it's the people that make the difference. It's the culture, just like in any sports team. So we're working really well together. Our drivers are great. They create a great atmosphere. And we're very focused on ourselves. Andrea, our team principal, has done a fantastic job leading the team. And so we've got this kind of culture in this sport environment going. And you see this with sports where sometimes teams punch above their weight. Then you see sometimes where you have all these all-stars on a team, but it doesn't quite gel, and so they don't get the job done. And I'd like to think we have a great combination of both.
You also are coming out with a book. It's coming out in November. It's called 7/10 of a Second. I cannot wait to read this, Zach. Tell us about it and what made you want to write a book.
I'm not sure what made me want to write a book. I think I was approached. I never thought I was going to be a book guy. But, I've got some pretty fascinating experiences over the years in business, from running my own business to back when I raced, to back to school, to where McLaren is today. So I thought just share those stories. And it's really kind of lessons in leadership and things that I've learned along the way. Obviously, a lot of McLaren content. The 7/10 of a second relates to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix last year, which was quite a nail-biter coming down to the last lap against Ferrari, which was very exciting. So it's hopefully it'll be an entertaining read. It's a lot of work, so I won't be doing a sequel anytime soon. I got to stick with the day job, but hopefully it'll be entertaining for everyone.
No kidding. Oh, my goodness. I can't even imagine, you've got a day job. Writing a book is one in and of itself. Okay, I know also you're a golf fan, right?
Love golf.
Okay, have you ever played with one of your drivers?
All the time.
All the time. Well, did you know that I played mini golf with Lando?
Who won?
Obviously, Lando.
I wasn't going to be so obvious because
also,
I played with Lando before.
What about, have you ever karted with one of them?
I've karted with both of them.
With both? Gosh, how fun is that?
They have a weight advantage. That's my excuse.
That's hilarious. Okay, Lando actually told me, look, this was us at a track in New Jersey. We went karting. He told me that I was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
All right, thanks.
I'm sure you were. Did you beat him?
I'm sure you totally believe that.
It was close?
It was very close.
It was very close.
He may have given me a head
start.
start.
They're good guys, aren't they?
And
Lando
then still
Oscar?
won, but that's okay. They are great guys.
They're great.
We have absolutely loved having Lando around. It was so cool to get to talk to them about their involvement, too, what happened on the track with the F1 movie.
Yeah, the movie has been a fantastic success. We ended up putting Brad Pitt in our Formula One car. He did a great job, very, very focused. So he's become a friend of the family, if you'd like. And that's just done, continued to do wonderful things for Formula One.
It's so neat. What is it like for you to come to the U.S.? I mean, now we have Miami, Austin, Vegas, to not only have a U.S. fan base. I think we should credit the Netflix show with a lot of that.
100%.
And now also the movie, of course, but also to actually be on U.S. soil for multiple races now. How has that been?
I mean, it's obviously my home country, so it feels a little bit extra special to me, just like when you go to the British Grand Prix, Lando loves it. You go to Australia, it's Oscar. So excited. We have won Miami a couple times. We've never won Vegas and Austin, so I would love to see that happen. And it's great to be on this swing. And then, of course, we've got Brazil and Mexico. So, in this territory and time zone, a lot of racing. And it's amazing how fast Formula One has grown in America with women and with youth. The sport is just in a wonderful place.
You know what I love to always ask any of the drivers when I get the chance to interview them is something I think a lot of people ask, but I'm not sure that any CEOs have been asked this. How you deal with the jet lag of being all over the world. Because I know these drivers, like Lando actually told me once, like his schedule is so strict to help him that even what time in the day he will look at a screen to have any blue light is sort of monitored and is taken very seriously. What about for you? How do you handle it?
My discipline is not quite as good as the racing drivers, but I'm not racing cars anymore. But, I think we all have our little secrets. Diet's a big aspect of it, and kind of when you're on planes, I try, and as soon as I get on the plane, get into the time zone I'm flying into, which sometimes means you need to go to sleep and you just woke up, or sometimes you feel like you need to go to sleep but you need to stay up. So for me, it's about just getting into the time zone as quickly as possible. The drivers get out plenty early so they can settle, but it's pretty tough. But I think we move around so much, I'm never quite sure what time zone I'm in.
Right, I bet. That takes discipline, though, even what you just said. I always wreck the first day of a vacation with a nap I shouldn't take.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you could do.
Zach Brown, thank you very much. Good luck. We were watching for the rest of the season. We appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for having me on.
Great to see you. Well, let's get to what's making financial headlines right now. Starbucks making some big changes, coming with a lot of cuts. CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with that and other money news. Hey, Silvana.
Hey, Savannah, good morning to you. Yes, so Starbucks announcing store closures and job cuts in a $1 billion restructuring plan. The coffee giant will close 1% of stores. That's equal to about 150 to 200 stores and eliminate 900 jobs. Now, employees at the shuttered locations will be notified Friday and will be eligible for transfers to nearby locations. And these moves are part of the Back to Starbucks strategy instituted by CEO Brian Niccol. The company recently announced it would close 80 to 90 Starbucks pickup stores in more than 20 states. YouTube will finally let you hide the pop-up recommendations that show up at the end of videos. You can now tap a new hide button in the top right corner. That's to hide the pop-ups from the current clip you're watching. Now, it only works for that specific video, not everything on YouTube. And if you want to bring the pop-ups back, you can just tap the show button. YouTube says this is in response to user feedback. And Hershey beating a lawsuit this week claiming its Reese's Halloween candy isn't spooky enough. So this to allege the company misled consumers who were disappointed the Halloween-themed Reese's they bought lacked the decorations shown on the labels. The judge ruling the plaintiffs didn't prove they suffered any economic harm, and the subjective belief they overpaid for the candy, well, they didn't support their claims. The proposed class action suit by 2 Florida residents was seeking at least $5 million in damages, Savannah.
All right. Wow. Silvana, thank you so much. Yes. All right. Coming up, checkmate. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the child chess prodigy from across the pond, who's now actually the youngest female international master ever. Our own Raf Sanchez. We're going to see if he can stack up to the best of the best up next. Finally this hour, a child prodigy from the UK is making waves in the world of chess. The 10-year-old is regularly sweeping aside adult champions and is now the youngest ever female international master. NBC News International correspondent Raf Sanchez went to meet her and even attempted to take her on.
At just 10 years old, Badana Sivanandan is so small she needs a booster seat to see the board. But that hasn't stopped her from becoming a giant of global chess. The fifth grader from the UK regularly trounces adult champions decades her senior and is now the youngest ever female international master, the game's second highest rank.
How does it feel when you play people who are so much older than you and you beat them?
I try kind of not to worry about factors like that. I just try and focus on the board and play the boards.
When Badana was just 5, her father brought home a secondhand chess set.
I was quite interested in the pieces and I wanted to use them as like toys to play with.
Within weeks, she was beating her dad, learning to master the game not from a coach, but from lessons on YouTube. And today, videos of her defeating veteran players regularly go viral.
She's just beaten me, and I'm an ex-British champion.
I'm not exactly a veteran, and my time at middle school chess club wasn't much help. As Badana beat me again and again and again. Experts say this may be the start of an all-time great chess career.
Do you ever feel like it's too much pressure?
No, because I just try and like enjoy chess as a game instead of just trying to like kind of play for the achievements or anything like that.
An ancient game where a kid can be a queen. Raf Sanchez, NBC News, London.
All right, Raf. I don't know, that was a fool's errand to even try her. How neat is that? She's incredible. Our thank you for that report. That is going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now. The news does continue right now, so stay with us.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.